All right, good morning, everyone. Today is August 12th, 2020. This is a special meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority. Present today in Albany is Chairman Bradley. We have by video Commissioner Fan, Commissioner Ford. We also have in person in the Albany office General Counsel Meyerhoff, myself, Secretary Donahue. We have a number of items on this morning's calendar. They are all conditional contest offers regarding matters where there's been a summary suspension. So, Chairman, unless you have anything else, we'll start off with the first item.
I do. I just want to say generally, first of all, do we have a list of what I asked you?
I have a list.
Okay. So the way I don't know how you guys are looking at these, but the way I have been looking at these cases, and I know council has put together to try to remain consistent on the monetary fines, he's put together a system wherein he analyzes each case and then decides, advising us whether he thinks the fine is appropriate or not. As far as whether some of these places should open up or not, I think we as commissioners need to analyze each one. And the biggest question I look at when I'm analyzing them is based on what we've seen, does this licensee, no matter what they say, even have the desire or the ability to comply with what is required right now? And if they don't, they should not be reopened. And there are some on this list, obviously, that I think you'll all agree do fit into that category. The other thing I would add that I'm going myself, and you guys obviously have to agree or disagree with this, is I think that every offer, if it's monetary and it's accepted, needs to go back to the licensee with the counter offer that they're to close at 11 o'clock until this, and if they want to come back to us when this is over, and I'm talking only about New York City, if they want to come back to us when this is over and the curfew in New York City is lifted, then fine. But going forward, if they violate that, that's part of their license is going to get canceled. So I think the hours on anyone who has a violation that is allowed to remain open should be changed to 11 p.m. because that coincides with the curfew in the city of New York, which I believe is going to continue for quite some time. And like I said, when that curfew is lifted, they can come back to us and we will obviously expand their hours.
What about the music situation?
We can deal with that on a case-by-case basis. If you're uncomfortable with it, then say it, and I certainly probably will agree with you.
Okay.
They close at 11 anyway, though, don't they? I mean, isn't
They
that
do, but I want to make it clear that we've now notified them. We know you're going to be shut, period, at 11, and if you're not, and we find you open, you're going to be closed permanently. Because that's based on my observations being out there. That's an enormous issue. They are not shutting at 11 o'clock. And when I say that, that's the majority of the locations that I've witnessed. Even ones that are in compliance are not shutting at 11 o'clock.
so? You'd be saying stop serving, say at 10:30, so you close the doors at 11. Get everybody.
I don't care when they stop serving. They're shut at 11 o'clock.
All right,
It's not last call at 11 o'clock. Their doors are shut at 11 o'clock.
got it.
And like I said, it's New York City only. To my knowledge, the other municipalities, if they do have a curfew, they're not having the same issues. Did you want to say something?
I was just going to say that, first of all, to refuse that as a counteroffer is an indication that they're not going to comply with their own municipality's rules. So maybe if they're going to refuse that as a counteroffer, they shouldn't be open. Because that's what New York City's rules are. And New York City's rules are incorporated into our guidance. And in theory, any violation of it is, or more than in theory, a violation of the executive order. But I don't see any reason why that can't be an additional condition you impose on the conditional no contest offers that are up today.
All right, with that then, we'll proceed with the first item, which is 929A1. It's Madison Global Llc. It's an offer for $15,000. The summary suspension was imposed on July 29th. Commissioner Fan?
I will accept $10,000.
Which one is this? I'm sorry, Tom.
This is
Nello.
A1 Madison Global LLC. So just accepting the offer then, Commissioner Fan.
At 11 post.
All right, so then you're making a counter offer, okay?
You know, these counter offers do not have to come back to us if they accept the counter offer and then it's accepted.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll accept. And
are you, so you're not, you're making the counter offer then for 11 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay. Chairman Bradley.
I make the counter offer of 11 p.m. and the 15,000.
Okay. The next item, 929A2, this is White Horse Hospitality. It's a $40,000 offer, and the summary suspension was imposed on July 8th. Commissioner Fan.
This is one where I'm really not sure if they can get into compliance moving forward.
So what I was going to suggest in this, because I have the same concerns you do, is that platform that we all are aware of needs to be torn down if it hasn't been already. They need to comply with the New York City, what's it called, the
DOT.
Some forward, the New York forward, or
the New York
New York forward plan.
Yeah, explicitly with that plan.
yeah, they do have to have a platform so that of some kind, so that there's no gap between the end of the curb and where they're serving. But the platform that was the problem is in the turn lane and is
Right.
too big.
Right, it needs to be torn down, and if they want to put a new one up that complies with the New York Forward Plan, then that's fine. And then the 11 p.m. closing, and that's closed at 11 p.m. Meaning they clear the platform, they shut their doors. And if they can't do it, then they will be shut again, and that will be the end.
And I
All right,
want
Commissioner Fan?
a counter on the music, Tom, their current music allowance. Is there a limitation? Maybe not.
Yeah, you can say no outdoor music, period.
Well, they said they will have no external speaker.
We can just say no music, period, to be played outside,
Okay.
if that's what you want.
Well,
Okay, so here's my vote.
They shouldn't have any music inside, right? There's nobody inside. So you just want no music?
But you can do no music, yeah.
Well,
Okay, so I
we
would,
also have, well,
They're gonna have to come back anyway for the 11 o'clock, so it doesn't matter.
I understand, but we are assuming right now that the current rules are going to continue indefinitely,
Not
and that they won't be
indefinitely,
able to serve inside. So you do have the discretion if you want to make a limitation on outside music.
I'm with her, I don't want them to have music, period. They have not shown any responsibility, at least recently, to be able to handle it. And, you know, I'm not interested in closing the place permanently, and that's, if they have music, I have concerns that that's where we're gonna end up, so.
okay, so here's my vote. Should we start from the top? I'm going
Yes.
to accept the $40,000, but counter with 11 p.m. close, a platform that is in compliance with the New York Forward Plan, and no music.
Okay, so it's just a technicality, but, so you're not accepting the money, you're accepting the
Yeah.
money plus these conditions as a
Yes.
counteroffer?
Yes, Tom.
Proposing it. Commissioner
Yes.
Ford?
Excuse me. I'm all right with that, except I would counter at 50,000. I mean, I think this place is pretty egregious. Several days of violations. I just think a point needs to be made here. So I'm at 50,000 and all the rest of your terms. I'm good with that.
I'm okay with
I'll
50.
I'm at 52 with the same term, a counteroffer with the same terms as the same other terms as Commissioner Fan.
Commissioner Fan? Are you at 40 or 50? Okay. Okay, next item, 929A3, Alfonso Cabrera. This is a $25,000 offer for a summary suspension that was imposed on May 29th. Commissioner Fan?
I'm going to counter it, cancel and bond. I think there is an availing here. We never actually heard from the licensee. We continue to get letters from the son who is not on the license.
Okay, Commissioner Ford?
Yes, the son who admitted he violated the law. I'm at cancel and bond as well.
Chairman Bradley?
Yeah, I'm a canceling bond too. These just aren't EO violations. It's an RW. There was alcohol being served. There's multiple dates of failure to supervise. And the excuse was that the father, who is the licensee, is out of the country and currently still out of the country with no indications he will be back anytime soon, and that the son opened the place for the benefit of the father. I don't see that as a viable thing going forward.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not even clear that he claims whether he opened it for his benefit or not, and the father has not been heard from, and he's the licensee. Interestingly, the son's affidavit says that he's neither an owner nor an employee of the location.
Which makes him a customer.
There's certainly no one there to supervise the place if it were to be reopened. That's all already in the record.
Yeah, I have no faith that they're capable of complying, and the owner's not there, so I vote to cancel. I counter and cancel and bond.
Next item, items 929A4 and A5. It's Cheap Shots Cross Bay Inc. It's an offer of $35,000. Summary suspension imposed on July 25th. Commissioner Fan?
I will counter at 35,000 with no music and 11 p.m. close.
Commissioner Ford?
I'm here.
Chairman Bradley?
Same.
Next item, 929A6, Diaz Restaurant Inc., $50,000 offer for a summary suspension imposed on 7/31. Commissioner Fan?
Note, by the way, this one is not in New York City.
I will counter at 15,000 with no music.
It is 15. Oh, that's the counter. I get it. Okay.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll counter it the same, 15,000, no music.
Chairman Bradley?
I mean, the thing that bothers me about this the most is that the door was locked from the outside. I don't know, this is what the attorney points out. It wasn't locked inside, it was locked outside to keep people out, so they keep it under 50% of capacity. I don't know why you couldn't have someone at the door to do that. And the police couldn't get in. I mean, I question the validity of anything that this licensee is saying, but so I would vote cancel and bond, but that's fine where we're at.
All right, the next item, items 929A7 and A20, Astoria Boulevard Restaurant Group Ltd. It's a $20,000 offer. The summary suspension was imposed on July 30th. Commissioner Fan?
I'm not at that.
I don't have you down as a...
I don't remember being there.
Commissioner Fan?
I will counter at 25,000 with 11 p.m. close and no music.
Commissioner Ford?
You countered at 25,000? This place was open at 12:30 a.m., 50 to 100 patrons, hookah, sidewalk. See the speaker. Yeah, 25,000, 11 o'clock,
And no music?
and no music.
Chairman Bradley?
I would be canceling bond. They had 50 to 100 people standing around. This place is operating like a club, a nightclub. I have no faith or belief that they will have any intention of complying with the governor's executive order or ability to comply with the executive order.
And just,
And they will be visited many times.
you didn't recuse yourself from this one, but you were absent. That's why you may not remember it.
Okay.
All right, then, the next item, and this one, Chairman, you are recused from,
Yes.
is 929A8, JMDR 127 Ludlow LLC, $25,000 civil penalty for a suspension imposed on July 24th, and actually, right, on July 24th.
Can we take 2 minutes so I can talk to council?
We're going to take a brief recess while the chairman has a conference with council. I'd ask you all to mute your microphones, please. All right, we are back on the record. This is item 929A8, JMDR 127 Ludlow LLC, $25,000 offer and summary suspension issued on 7/24. The chairman was recused in this matter.
Yeah, and I just wanted to state for the record that the issue in this location was that there was basically a window with no table service. It was a window with people drinking on the street, and basically a stand-up bar, and that was the issue there. So ask the members to consider that as they consider their vote.
All right then, Commissioner Fan.
I'm counter at bond.
Commissioner Ford.
I'll counter cancel and bond as well.
All right, then, next item, 929A9, Great Hills Marina Cafe. This is a $20,000 offer. The summary suspension was imposed on 7/31. Commissioner Fan.
I'll counter at 25 with 11 p.m. close and no music.
Commissioner Ford.
I'll go with the same. Is this the one that he offered to hire guards?
Yes.
He doesn't need guards. He just needs employees supervising his business. You said 25,000, Commissioner?
Yes, 25.
Yes, I'll go with 25.
And 11 p.m. and no music?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Chairman Bradley.
I'll go with the same thing. And I do want to say, for those who are listening, this attorney put in a very clear operation plan that this licensee says they're going to comply with in order to comply with the executive orders, which was very helpful to me in making this decision, because it appears that they are taking this very seriously. Whether I agree with Commissioner Ford, I don't know that you need guards, but they clearly are going to try to supervise this premise in a different manner than they were before.
Right. And I would just say that as we continue to consider the locations that we are seeing reports on and whether to charge them and whether to seek a summary suspension, we are conscious of the fact that restaurants may not be able to make up all the money they've lost during this unfortunate pandemic under the restrictions that have been imposed, since all they are currently permitted to do in New York City is set up tables within the frame of their premises building and serve the number of people that can sit at those tables socially distanced, which is not a lot of people. But if that's done properly, I cannot see how you would need a security guard to supervise orderly people eating with alcohol, which is really all that's permitted. The reason that we have places that are suspended is because the crowds were attracted by illegal service. And if there's illegal service, the crowd arrives, and then it's difficult to control. And it's not hard for our investigators to know which places are serving illegally. They can just drive down the street, look for the crowds, and they'll know where to find them. So if you serve in compliance with the rules, you shouldn't need to have security guards you've never had to have before for your location. And you won't have to be breaking people up who are drinking out in front of your place, because a waiter or a waitress will be serving them at their table. So for those of you who are watching, that's the way that you can make sure to follow the law, is just read it, understand it, and comply with it. And I don't think you're going to need to worry about an unruly mob that then has to be controlled.
All right, the next items 929, 810, 811, and 812, RT Hospitality Group LLC. This is an offer for $25,000. The summary suspension was imposed on July 28th. Commissioner Fan.
I will counter at 25 with 11 p.m. close and no music.
Commissioner Ford.
Side service, patron congregating. What was your counter offer again, Commissioner? I'm
20.
sorry.
25 with music, no music, and 11 p.m. close.
I'll go with that.
Chairman Bradley.
They've only been
This
open-
place, I was at Cancel and Bond. This place was open a year. I don't think they have the ability or the intention of complying. There was a slashing there already that is part of this case that was before COVID.
No, I don't think this is the place.
It's not charged, but due to a patron got slashed inside the licensed premise. So I was at Cancel and Bond.
Okay, then the next item.
The one thing I would ask them to do, though, there seems to be an outdoor service window here. I would ask that that be shut permanently as another counter, based on the description.
Well,
I'm asking them to counter it on theirs.
Uh,
If you're
yes.
all right with that.
Yes, shutting the outdoor service, please.
Commissioner Ford.
I'm fine with that.
Next item, 929, A13, Grand Astoria Inc. It's an offer for $35,000 for summary suspension that was imposed on July 28th.
I was actually looking at the wrong one in the last case. Sorry.
Commissioner Fan.
Yes, I will count at 35 with no music and 11 p.m. close.
No music, the money, and 11 p.m. close. Commissioner Ford.
I'll agree with that as well.
Chairman Bradley.
Hold on one second. Okay, I'll do the same.
Next item, 929, A14, Ruby 1909 Corp. Chairman, you have to recuse yourself. The offer is $25,000 for a summary suspension imposed on July 28th. Commissioner Fan.
I'm at counter 35, close at 11 and no music.
Commissioner Ford.
This is Rubarosa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll go along with Commissioner Fan.
Okay then. The next item is 929A15. It's A3/Amsterdam Restaurant Corp., $15,000 offer for a summary suspension that was imposed on July 30th. Commissioner Fan.
Due to his long history and multiple letters written in support, I will vote to lower this to 10,000 if the other agree.
Just 10,000, no other conditions.
I guess 11 p.m. close.
And just to be clear, the facts here are not similar to some of the other facts we're seeing. This was simply, in my mind, a licensee who was confused about what indoor and outdoor meant. He had windows open and he felt that that was consistent with outdoor dining, which our guidance says is not. He did not have the music problems. He did not have the crowd lingering problems. It was purely that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Commissioner Fan, you're making a counter offer of $10,000 with the 11 p.m. closing time.
Yes.
Commissioner Ford.
This licensee has been in business for what, 30 years? So no real adverse history. So I'm willing to go down to 10,000 as well with the other steps.
All right, so that'll be a counter offer as well. Chairman Bradley.
I'll do the same counteroffer.
Okay. Next items. 929A16, A17, A18. AFB Lounge LLC, it's a $30,000 offer. The summary suspension was opposed on July 20th.
So I'm not required to recuse myself here, but I think I probably should because I was at the licensed premise shortly after we suspended them I'm not going to get into the reasons, but so I'm going to recuse myself.
Okay, then Commissioner Fan. Commissioner Ford.
We suspended this one on 7/20. Yes, I'm countering a canceling bond as well.
Okay, then next item, 929A19, Easton and Son, Inc. It's a $20,000 civil penalty offer. License was suspended on 8/1. Commissioner Fan.
I am willing to lower this to 15,000 with your 10 p.m. close.
And once again, the facts of this are not consistent with some of the other things we're seeing as far as people lingering, loitering. There's not the loud music. This was,
Yeah.
Gary, do you want to explain?
Yeah, it's not an outdoor bar scene. This is, there were people being served inside and the manager was not wearing a mask.
These are all correctable.
Right. The music is not attracting the violations here, as opposed to some of the other places where music is, where the, essentially the business model is to have an outdoor bar scene attracted by the music.
Okay, so Commissioner Fan, you had a counter offer of 15,000, 11 p.m. closing. Commissioner Ford.
I'll go with the 15,000, 11 p.m. closing as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I will do the same.
Next item, 929A21, A&K Party Hall Corp. Chairman, you have to recuse yourself from this matter. It's a $15,000 offer. Summary suspension was opposed on July 24th.
And this also is a place where the issue was inside dining without masks, also smoking hookah, not necessarily an outdoor party scene.
All right, Commissioner Fan.
I have concerns about this. I mean, it's basically a party inside with no face mask. Not sure about this one, just because the licensee seems to be very new at this. They claim to have only been in business since February, but they're doing everything wrong here.
License was issued, June of last year, a little over a year. About a
Yeah,
year.
but the letter from the representative says that he's only been in business for 2 months and 28 days. He opened in February of 2020.
Yes, it says it took them 2 years to open because of the Department of Buildings delays.
Counter at 20. I'll counter at 20 with 11 p.m. close and no music.
Commissioner Ford,
Yeah, I'm willing to do that too.
What was it?
the counter offer is a $20,000 civil penalty, 11 p.m. closing, and no music. Next item, or items 929A22 and A23. Morelia Mexican Restaurant, Inc. is an offer for $25,000. The summary suspension was imposed on August 1st. Commissioner Pham,
Council, this is a pretty egregious outdoor bar scene here, right?
Yes, well, we have the first proceeding concerns, which is pre-COVID, using a live DJ when they're only permitted to use recorded music. I don't think we have an allegation that they were using a live DJ outside, but there was an outdoor bar scene. I don't see a noise complaint, but people were crammed together and standing around. And the place has a significant adverse history.
Sorry, just give me one moment.
There was an estimated 75 people congregating outside. Sold food with alcohol without food.
I mean, it goes with their history. In October 2016, they had a maximum occupancy charge sustained. Failure to conform to the application noise nuisance rule, focal point for police attention. So this is consistent with what they do pre-COVID.
Yeah, they paid $18,500 in fines so far for that.
Commissioner Pham,
They have a really long set of adverse history here. $18,000 in fine. I'm gonna counter at cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford,
I was going to counter at 35. Which is about
Chairman
double.
Bradley.
I'm at cancel and bond too. Their adverse history is egregious. Their conduct here is on pre-COVID. They were doing stuff they weren't supposed to in January of 2019, and then the scene that they came on in July, where they got summarily suspended, was pretty egregious. The investigators were there for 15 minutes. They observed numerous patrons purchasing alcohol without any food. And the groups with the alcoholic beverages were observed standing around the outdoor dining area. So I have no faith that this licensee is going to want to or even be able to comply with these orders going forward.
Right.
So I'm at cancel and bond.
I'm going to jump ahead to the matters where the chairman, you have recused yourself, because I know that Commissioner Ford has
Go
a
ahead.
clock. So, and we're going to skip over now to 929A27, which is 1353 Restaurant Corp. There's an offer of $25,000. There was a summary suspension imposed on August 5th.
Yes, I will accept 25,000, sorry, I will counter with 25,000, 11 PM close and no music.
Commissioner Ford?
This is Pub Life, Inc.?
No,
No, this is,
Yeah, Kitchen.
A27.
Oh, 827, I'm sorry. Give me just a moment.
So, Tom, just email me.
Counter that as well.
Commissioner Ford?
Same as Commissioner Fan, 25,000.
And 11 PM and no music.
11 PM.
All right, thank you. All right, we're gonna skip then again to 929A29, 30 and 31, which is Lima Restaurant Corp. There was a $15,000 offer. The summary suspension was imposed on July 25th.
I'll counter it with 11 PM close and no music.
Commissioner Ford?
Yeah, I thought 15 was a little bit low, so I'll do 25, 11 PM, no music.
All right. And that takes care of the ones I had with Chairman Bradley recused, so we'll go back to 929A24, Aleel Inc. So offer $30,000, summary suspension imposed on July 31st. Commissioner Fan?
So, the March charges were not COVID related, right?
it's correct. There was a joint inspection, SLA and NYPD, unlimited drinks, pre-mixing, books and records violation. The first failure, to conform to the application was using a DJ when only recorded music was permitted. You have unauthorized trade name. One of the charges were unauthorized hookah, unlicensed security guards, and I believe the other three are either fire or health hazards like safety. I don't know exactly what they are, but they're local fire or health regulations.
Okay,
And that was all in March of 2020, and they are seeking to settle those charges in addition to the two incidents in which there were executive order charges observed, executive order violations on July 18th and July 25th.
okay. I will counter at 35 with 11 PM close and music.
Commissioner Ford?
Does this settle everything on the books with this licensee?
Yeah, we don't have any other open NOPs on this case, on this licensee.
I'll do 35 as well.
And the 11 PM and no music?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to say that, yes.
No problem. Chairman Bradley?
I was at cancel bond.
Next item, 929A25, 150-03 Rest Corp. It's an offer for $20,000. Summary suspension was imposed on July 23rd. Commissioner Fan?
I'm at cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford?
I will go cancel and bond as well.
Chairman Bradley?
I'm at cancel bond too. This place was acting like a club. And they have multiple egregious violations on multiple dates. So I'm at cancel bond. I have no faith that they can comply even if they intended to.
Next item, 929A26, 6th TOT LLC. It's an offer for $7,500. Summary suspension was imposed on July 31st.
This is also a case where the violation was people eating inside with open windows in violation of the inside dining restrictions.
Commissioner Fan?
Counter at 10, 11 p.m. close.
Commissioner Ford?
That's exactly where I was at, 10,000, 11 p.m. close.
Chairman Bradley?
I'll do the same.
Next item I have is 929A28, ENBA LLC. The offer is $15,000. Summary suspension was imposed on August 6th. Commissioner Fan?
I would counter at 15 with 11 p.m. close.
Okay, Commissioner Ford?
Same here, 15, 11 p.m.
Chairman Bradley?
I'll do the same counter, but the problem that I had was which I mentioned before, the attorney gave absolutely no plan about what this licensee is going to do differently to comply. Basically offers the penalty, and going forward, I would like to see some kind of indication of what's going to happen differently. But I'll do the same counter offer.
All right, the next item, 929A32, Pasta La Vista, Inc. The offer is $15,000. The summary suspension was imposed on August 1st.
What number are we at?
32.
A32.
Oh, because yours did, Lima.
Yes, we did. Commissioner Fan?
I will counter at 15 with 11 p.m. close.
Commissioner Ford?
Give me just a second here. Yeah, I'll go along with Commissioner Fan.
Chairman Bradley?
I'll go along too, but I do have to point out that the attorney's letter is somewhat upsetting because the manager spoke with our investigator and told us why the people were lingering, and then which was waiting for tables, and then the attorney decided that he was going to split it and tell us that they were waiting to use the bathroom, which I find disingenuous. But regardless, it's irrelevant why they were lingering. They were lingering. I'll do the same counter offer.
All right, the next items, 929A33, A34, A35, and A36. 733 Restaurant Corp. The $21,000 offer. The suspension was imposed on July 31st. Commissioner Fan?
I am counter at 35 with 11 p.m. close and no music.
Commissioner Ford?
I definitely think this is a candidate for being canceled. I mean, the manager was explaining the rules, still didn't comply after being warned multiple times. Admitted it. What did you come up with? 35,000, Commissioner? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
35, 11 p.m. and no music.
Yes.
Okay. Chairman Bradley?
I'll do the same, and once again, I will commend the attorney here, did put in a clear plan that they intend to follow. Whether they follow it or not, we'll see, but they did appear to commit to making changes, so hopefully that will work.
All right, the next item I have is 929A37, Pub Life, Inc. Offer of $2,500. The suspension was imposed on July 31st. Commissioner Fan?
I am counter at 10,000, 11 PM close.
All right, Commissioner Ford.
Now, this is the one he said people came in from next door. That's right. Counted it at 10, Commissioner Fan?
Yes.
10,000 and 11 PM closing.
I'll do that as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll do the same. I mean, this place concerns me though going forward because no plan has been presented and the stuff that they're violating is so easy to cure. And they haven't indicated to us how they're going to do that, such as serving food to every customer. Making sure people aren't standing around high tops, whether they come from next door or not. But that would have been very helpful if they had submitted something, but I'll go along with the counteroffer.
I get a sense that they don't think they did anything wrong.
Well, then, yeah, that's what concerns me.
Well, we'll be back again.
All right, then, with that, Chairman, I have no other items. Do you have anything else?
No.
All right, with that, then, the meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Since we started, I now have a couple of possibles for this
Oh, okay.
afternoon, so.
I think you're going to tell me at 10 here. Some of these aren't